Makes sense. And Dennis improving his board with the 3-1. I like the felt surfaces, so I'm happy to see Chris Lloyd making those.
Have you played on this one?
I have not, but
Yeah.
I much prefer felt to cork in my experience. I think with the
Um,
6-1, you just want to make the bar and not expose three blots when you're outboarded 3-1.
yeah.
So
Double
this is,
five. That.
yeah, this is wouldn't have been too great for Dennis if you just held the anchor and built a prime, but now you're really up against the wall. You need a good roll here if you're Jeb.
And I am monitoring the chat for everyone
So
here.
what's going on with the cube now after 4-6? I mean, this is just double take, double
How is
pass.
he going to play it?
It's not a good roll. If you come out, you leave sixes, threes, and ones. If you slot, you leave sixes, ones, and fours. This has got to be a cube, right? I would think it's double. Could it possibly be a pass? Nine checker blitz, three blots,
He
but
does
nobody
double.
nobody on the bar yet, and Jeb could miss 5-3 hits, and double five is pretty bad. Double three hits twice. I think it's probably a pass, yeah. But it
He got.
just it just shows why the 6-1 was bad to break the anchor.
Yeah. So UBK says only 39 in the open. Would have guessed it would be more. I think there's a Women's World of Backgammon event playing independently in Florida.
Uh, really? At the same time as the Charlotte tournament?
That's my understanding.
Okay. Well, cool, cool.
So usually when you hit with the one, you bring one down
Yeah, I
off
mean
the
it's reasonably close here because you like to split with a four and you're kind of duplicating sixes, but I think you're more inclined to bring the four down when you have stripped your 8 point, and you want you're unstacking your midpoint.
except against the 6-4 split.
Yes,
You're more.
that is correct. But even there, it's close, right? The main thing that people get wrong is when you hit with a six and then you're just bringing down and like semi-stripping your midpoint. That's usually not a good idea. This is gonna make it prime, so Jeb is winning the priming
You
game.
make the bar or the
Yeah.
nine.
No, make the bar. I mean, even if you get the main problem with making the bar is that if you get hit in the outfield, you're leaving blots. But here you have a bunch of returns from the bar because he has all those blots, and like it would be a massive swing on something like double six, right? If you make the bar and he hits, you have a bunch of returns. If he misses, you just make the next thing. 6-2. Now he can come out and make the bar. Would have hit, but you would have had lots of returns.
5-3.
5-3, I guess, is the 3 point.
This is there an urgency to split?
I mean, you do want to split, but the cost of not making the 3 point is pretty high, right? That's a pretty good point. So it is, you would like to split, you would like to hit, but you'd also really like to make a point.
So he's splitting now
Uh, Splitting with the ace is less desirable, but
because of all the checkers in the zone.
yeah, you don't see daylight with an ace, right? You're just
Oh
kind of
wow,
giving him a target.
like that.
Yeah. That is
Five,
a tremendous roll.
right? It's a cube saver.
Yeah. I mean, Jeb is a favorite after 5-4, as opposed to probably just dropping.
Five, Double four again. Nothing but doubles.
Wow. What do you do with this? You can make the ace point, you can make your 4 point and hit loose, you can make the four and come out, you can do all kinds of stuff.
I think making the four is half of it.
Making the four and coming out looks pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, you have control of the outfield.
Now he can run with the 6-4.
Yeah, but at least you have the double shot in the outfield.
The other thing I was thinking about the double four is what gets you closer to a cube.
Yeah, I mean, I think this gets you to a reasonably efficient position.
5-2 is good.
Yeah, hit and don't leave return shots. Only give the 2-6 from the bar. We've never seen that.
4-1.
I think Jeb is probably close to something here, right?
Yeah.
Even Jeb is up 6-4. Jeb is behind in the race. Jeb is down by 11 after the roll. So he's down 11. Uh it's probably not quite good enough. I mean, it could be a double, but it's a super easy take, I think, for Dennis. Because
So
gammon danger is very low. You only have one blot that's out of range. You're up 11 pips. Jeb could make the bar and lose the market, but even if he does that, you're not getting gammoned.
So when you're playing and you get your opponent's thinking about doubling, do
Mm-hmm.
you spend that time thinking about potentially taking, or do you wait until he's doubled and then start thinking?
No, I usually start thinking while they're thinking.
Yeah, yeah, that saves a lot of time. There
Yeah.
you go. Makes the bar.
Yeah. This will be a market loss if Dennis does not roll an ace, and he does not. So yeah. Dennis would be passing now, but again, he's not really getting gammon, so he's not really happy he took this cube, but he's also not yeah, he could get gammoned. It's not
Point on head
impossible.
for the gammons.
Yeah, I mean, I think you want to win a gammon. Um and it's not like you lose that many games by making the ace point. It's possible Dennis could roll a two and win that game, but this Jeb's move is definitely the DMP move, but
Right.
you give up some gammons by doing this.
You bring builders to the 7 and 6 now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it doesn't make a huge difference how you play this. I don't think I would give a 1-6 Joker to hit me, but beyond that, like this is probably the most flexible to make the eight or to make the deuce point or the ace point, right? You have diversification of all those things. Double six is good for the race, so now Chip needs to make sure he makes it prime and doesn't get outraced. Possible to give a 1-6 Joker now, but yeah, now you have double coverage anyway, so.
Mop up. Yes, this is a Swiss tournament. I think it's triple elimination. So the 5 is forced, and you play 6-3 or 4-1.
Probably 4-1. I mean, I see that 6-3 kind of starts to kill fives, but it doesn't actually kill fives. And if you manage to uh hit a shot somehow, like say you roll I don't know, 6-5 and makes the ace or something.
Well, if you had
Or
played 6-3, can you hit loose with the 5-2 now?
yeah, maybe. Like there could be contact, so you kind of like having a board. Um Here, you know, I don't think I don't think Jib wants to hit loose or anything. I think you just want to like go to the. Yeah, I don't really see this move making much sense because double ace is very good, and you're also going past the point you want, which is the deuce point, right? The deuce point was the
Oh,
point you
look at
wanted to
that.
make. Yeah.
Now 20
Two
numbers.
six from the bar. So if you miss, what's going on with the cube? Uh,
Let's see the race.
is it close, right? It's a close race. I don't think you can redouble if you're Dennis. I mean, Dennis should be ahead in the pip count, but he's wasting a lot of pips.
71. 55 to 71.
2 and 8. Up 10 and 6, 16? 16 pips?
Yeah, 55, 71.
16
Well,
is a lot of pips.
it's a lot of pips.
Yeah.
And what about, like, what are you thinking about with the score on a 4 cube?
Um, you're I don't know. Let's just for the moment let's think about if it was 0-0, right? So if it's 16 pips, let's say Dennis is wasting oh, I don't know, 10 pips more than Jeb, right? Dennis is wasting a lot of pips. Uh yeah,
Jeb,
call it like maybe like 10. So let's say Dennis's real lead is like 6 pips. That's still a reasonable amount to double in a 55 pip race.
right. The other thing is Dennis has two big crossovers to get in, whereas Jeb has three small crossovers to get in.
Yeah, if Dennis rolls small at first, um, it's not so good for him. But if Jeb rolls a 6 right away, he has to play 7 to 1 and put another checker on the ace point, so he's wasting pips there. Um, it kind of seems like it could be a redouble and a take, but because I mean, 16 pips is just a ton of pips, right? In a 50 pip race. This one I think is going to be a redouble pass, right? Now you're at 19 pips in a 40 pip race. That's got to be a pass. Yeah.
Immediate pass. So
Yeah. I think it probably was a redouble the roll before, but yeah, I would have thought it was a take for Jeb before the 6-2.
so
Wastage also hurts, but it doesn't hurt the guy who's on roll and the who's leading in the race as much as it hurts the guy who's trailing in the race, right? Because you can use small numbers to bear off, and big numbers win anyway. So whereas it's harder to catch up if you're down 16 and wasting pips. There's no path to catch up.
right. Double one makes both points. Two down with 6-4. 3-1.
Typically, when you're winning the priming game, you want to just build your prime. So I would not split the checkers. I would just play 13 to 9. Playing into the game that Dennis wants to play, a blitzing game, rather than building a prime is not what you want to do. And this 6-5 would have been horrible for him if you kept the ace point. I would make the ace, I think, if I were Dennis. I mean, deuce point is probably better than the ace point, but you're giving up your 8 point to do so and leaving an additional blot. Getting hit would be painful.
When you have the 6 point and the ace point, I call it the Grand Canyon structure because of all those
They
gaps.
used to call it the naked ace point.
Right. Paul Weaver came up with
Yeah. 2-1 again. He's splitting. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, you like having anchors, so you split when you're behind a prime. You don't split when you're getting blitzed because then you just get closed out, right? And so if you have a prime, you want to
that's
yeah,
not legal.
yeah. If you have a prime, you want to build that prime. You don't want to play into your opponent's. winning scenarios. You want to give them bad numbers. So Dennis continuing the blitz. 2-5 can hit.
Great roll.
Sends a third checker back. You don't have to hit. You could come in and play 13-8, but I think hitting is pretty natural. Yeah.
Okay. 5-3 comes in and out.
5's kind of duplicated.
4-3.
Not a great roll, but I guess you can run around the corner for lack of. I don't see much that would otherwise be constructive. 6-1, pretty good. Yeah, makes Jeb's 8-point. So now it's hard to extend that prime beyond the 3-point prime. I mean, maybe he could turn it into a 4 prime, but like you're always gonna have to deal with Dennis's outfield point there on your 8-point.
4-2.
Coming up and hitting looks like the right idea. You want to, if you're Dennis, you can't really build a prime, so you want to escape that checker and you want to put Jeb on the bar. And 5-5 actually cannot move from the 13, but he can just run all the way around the board to the 5.
Right.
Race is probably close-ish. I think Dennis probably still winning even after 5-5, but yeah, I think Dennis is probably still ahead, but it's got to be close after the 5-5. Why not just play 13-6? I don't know if he sees it. Or 13-7-5-4. Does he think 13-7 is illegal? Not sure. Very strange to go 7-1 and break your bar point and put a blot on your ace, but may not really matter after Dennis's 6s.
Looks like Dennis is up by 22 now.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. This is probably going to be double pass unless Jeb rolls like 3 or bigger. So this should be double pass if 22 was correct. And it kind of looks like double pass, just eyeballing it.
94. And he up by 16.
16. So yeah, even more than 22. Yeah. So this is just a monster pass. I mean, if Dennis rolls 2-1, you roll 6, and Dennis rolls 2-1 again, you're even. So, that's a lot to ask for. You need to do some miracles here.
What did I say it was? It's 107 for light blue.
You said 16, 9. Oh, yeah, 94, 107.
70, 80, 91, 94 to 107.
Okay, so 13.
13, yeah.
So not as bad as 16, but still a pass. Jeb does take. Yeah, I believe he should pass even at 13 pips. But it's not crazy to take at 13.
The other thing I think about at this score is you win 2 points at 6 away, you get to the nice 4-way score.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I don't know how much it matters.
In non-gamonish positions, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's some thought of like if you're even away, it's more likely to be a pass. But on the other hand, if you're leading 3-0, like the other guy's kind of more inclined to take. Maybe they kind of counterbalance and offset each other. Or if they don't, maybe the difference is small. So I kind of just think about it like it's 0-0 for the most part.
So now it's a pure race.
Pure race. Jib has pretty decent chance, actually. Any big set would put him in
There
range,
you
and
go.
that will qualify.
Now I might
Um,
redouble soon.
yeah, depending on Dennis's roll. 3-1. Okay, so now you can think about it. Dennis down
58.
2 pips, 4 pips. Dennis is down by 3, so Jeb is up 3 pips.
Yeah, 61.58.
Uh-huh. So this is probably a good redouble here. You're trailing 0-3, you're up 3 pips. You probably waste a little bit more than Dennis because you put a second guy on your ace point, but you are, trailing 0-3 and redoubling and you're winning the game. So, it seems like it's probably a good redouble, but an easy take.
Oh,
And Jeb is very happy he didn't redouble now because now he's just losing.
Steve B says it was a pass on XG.
Yeah, the initial cube where he was down 13. That makes sense. This one was a take when he's only 3 pips behind. But I think it was still a good redouble, although now Jeb is very happy that the cube is not on 4. Because I guess he would be just I don't know if Dennis would redouble to 8 at the score, but maybe he would anyway. That's the other thing about redoubling to 4 is you kind of hamper the other guy's recubes. So
Right,
a thing that would be not a redouble at 0-0, because you're worried about giving the cube away is a double at 0-3 because the other guy can't really redouble to 8 unless he has a monster position, right? I mean, it's like 9% take point or something.
right. Also, I've learned that, a lot of people don't think about this, but you can double more aggressively in races, even when you're leading 2 away, 3 away.
Yes. About a pip.
And also
Um,
anchor holding games.
yeah, it's a little bit I mean there's always some really interesting nuances to some of these things. So like yesterday we saw a position where Costa was leading 2-away, 8-away, and on roll against Adrian Nadelku's deuce point anchor, and he had a 6 prime in front of it, and he's leading 2-away, 8-away. And at most scores, when you have a 6 prime in front of the deuce point, that is just a clear pass, right? Um, and even when you're leading 2-away, however many away, it's like still not enough contact to take that kind of position. But when you have outside checkers, there's a very outside chance of getting gammoned.
Right,
And so if you're trailing 8-away, 2-away, an 8 if gammon on a 4 cube is 8 points, and so even like less than 1% gammon wins can be enough to like massively swing the decision as compared to a race. So an anchor game that doesn't look like it should ever win a gammon is a lot better than a bear off that literally never wins a gammon, right? And
right.
Adrian actually did win a gammon on a 4 cube.
Huh.
So that
And
is
when you're leading 2 away, many away on a last roll position, you can double much more aggressively
yes. Yeah.
because you
The
can win the whole match in a single roll.
right. 2 points do a lot for the 2-away player and not a whole lot for the other away player. Right. I mean winning the match versus not winning the match is a big difference. This one I think you want to hit on the bar point.
Hit and make the 11.
Yeah. You like making the 11 just to make another point, clean up some blots.
Double 3.
Makes the 20 interesting with the last two. You could make the 3 points. You could also just hit loose on the bar. There's some bad sixes, like 2-6, but not that many. Making the 5 is okay too, but it is a little bit. It feels a little bit of a weird position to develop.
because the
There's
outfield is empty.
Yeah, the outfield is empty. Stack on the 6.
Another one.
I mean, it could have been okay. Yeah, this one will at least develop the stack on the 6. So
So how aggressive can you be leading 4 away, 9 away in gammonish positions?
less aggressive than at 0-0. Um, assuming, yeah, I mean the other guy is gonna have reasonable recubes to 4, which will kill your gammons, but you can still double them. It's not like you're leading 7-0 and you're killing your gammons by doubling.
Right.
So you do want to be somewhat less aggressive than at a 0-0 score, but you still want to keep the cube in mind.
6-2 is a good roll.
I think you slot the
Slot
bar.
the back.
I'm not sure. I mean, coming out makes sense too, because you do want to get those checkers into the outfield. You don't want to get disconnected, and you are leaving, ace 5, deuce 5, and ace 6.
Now does he think?
No, I don't think so. Jeb's position is too good. Like, Jeb has an anchor. He has the 4 point. He has the 11 point. He's got a pretty reasonable block, and it takes you a long time to get around. And in that time, Jeb can just enter on the deuce point, right? And then what do you really have?
Now
I
he's
mean,
thinking.
even here, like, it's just not that easy to lose the market. You need like double 5 or something.
If he clears that 16 point and Jeb dances,
I mean, is
slot.
certainly the longer the Jeb dances, he's getting closer every roll, right? I think he's not quite there yet, but if he makes another improvement in Jeb dances, I mean, maybe that position.
If he slots the bar point and Jeb dances, that's pretty strong.
Yeah, if he slots the bar point and Jeb dances, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a double. Um,
Good thing he didn't.
yes. Do you
Pop
give
out.
sixes and threes and play with one blot, or you can just give a deuce by playing 13 to 7?
That's the thing. Hitting there slots the back of the prime too.
Yeah, it does give Jeb return shots from the bar, which is nice. So this one, I think Dennis should cube. I like the cube here. I mean, it's in some sense it's a gammonish position, but it's not really a gammonish position. It's just a position where you win a ton of games, right? You have a prime in front of him, so you're not that scared about being redoubled. Because first of all, Jeb has to not lose the game to redouble. I don't think you're too good, but I don't think Jeb is taking either. So
Justin Noel says primes win games.
yeah, primes win games. This is a little bit interesting. I mean, hitting with a 6 is good, but hitting with an ace is less good because he's giving up the midpoint. Ace is kind of duplicated, although, yeah, I guess he would hit. What else if you don't do that?
Go to the
You could
11.
just swing around, then you're giving 4s and 2s to hit, and you don't have as many returns, plus the 6-3 and the 6-1 in the outfield. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked Dennis's first play of 20 to 16 and 13 to 8, although it would probably make more sense if the cube was already given, because this is going to be a lot of overage if he doesn't hit with a 6.
Double
Like,
5.
yeah,
Possible worst.
yeah, like you could. say it's maybe too good for Dennis at this point. Like I don't really see a bad thing that can happen to you, but you're not winning a lot of gammons because, Jeb has Jeb only has one blot and an anchor, and the blot is very far from actually going on the bar. So
Beats the
it's
full prime.
yeah, it's definitely you definitely might as well take a shot at it if you're Dennis, because there's not really anything to lose other than you roll double four, but it is unlikely that you're actually going to get it. I think maybe you win, let's say 15% or 20% gammons, like not much more than that.
No, he sticks around
Yeah, might as well. I mean, it's hard for Jeb to clear his midpoint.
just like that.
Yeah, he's gonna have to bury checkers in his board. And maybe you can even stick around one more time if you roll small. Yeah.
Small, yeah.
Now the 6-1,
Oh,
6-2, 6-3, 6-4 all leave shots. And some of the other rolls, yeah, this one's a shot. So if you can hit the fourth man, you have a real chance of winning a gammon.
yeah. So now do you
I think
duplicate the
you
fours?
I think you reduce shots. You really don't want the fourth man hit, and you can barely win. uh Duplication, and I could call it duplication, right? It's just
Yeah, Steve
just
felt
yeah, you don't want to get hit.
now he might have issues with fives.
Yeah, 6-5 would be the disaster roll. I mean, it is true that there could be issues, but you can't break your prime, right? What if you just rolled double six and now you're losing? Like
That- that-
you can't break up a prime.
That's a good point for novice and intermediate players. You have to be careful about your fives against the 2 point holding game
Yeah,
when you're bearing in.
yeah. Um, Fives usually are unable to play from the 7 point, and if you don't have spare checkers on your 6 point, then they can become really awkward.
Like 6-5 would leave a double shot if you
Yeah,
didn't have the point. Yeah.
Dennis should keep playing on anyway. I mean, Jeb does have two blots on his board, and it's only a handful of sequences. I think you win enough gammons. You can double later as well. Um, but it is not super likely that you're going to get there as Dennis.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Yeah. If you had to decide right now between cashing or playing the game until the end, then you should probably cash, but you can always decide to double next roll. And if Jeb had a closed board, maybe you want to double that. But with two blots in Jeb's board, even if you left a shot, you would have to be pretty lucky to hit and cover, and then he would still have two men back. So looks like the players are also taking a break. Hello, hello.
Okay. So they're taking a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me about your latest book.
Oh, that was the one you read. It
Yeah.
was the Backgammon Grandmaster match. It's pretty popular on Amazon.
Hmm.
It's an annotation of a match played between Mochi and Michi at the 2025 Los Angeles Open. And you were the live commentator.
Yeah, that was a great match. I mean, Mochi and Michi, two great players.
I feel like I learn a lot by watching top players play.
At even away, gammon is more valuable. Yes, gammons are more valuable when you're even away than when you're out away. On a one cube or a two cube or a four cube.
Now, three away is an awkward score.
Yeah. But at least at three way you can get to Crawford where, the trailer can't use the cube.
Right, right. That's one of the things I talked about in the book. Like scores like three away, nine away. The trailer can be really aggressive.
What's going to happen here? If Dennis fans, it's going to be too good. On an entry, making the deuce point. I think you make the deuce point rather than play 24 and 11, although 24 and 11 is not crazy. You definitely don't want to be split in Jeb's board.
Yeah, it freezes
But,
the 8 point and loses fewer games.
I mean, there should be a cube coming for sure. I think Dennis can get away with taking, even at the score. Not sure. I mean, it's a very strong cube, right? Um,
He does double.
yeah, it is a very difficult decision for Dennis, I think. I mean, at 0-0, it's a pretty easy take, I think. But leading 6-0, I'd be inclined to give up. It is a 6-0 lead, and you don't have a lot going for you. You do have the deuce point anchor. You don't have any blots, nobody on the bar, but you
One
know,
thing I've learned is if you have to only move one or two checkers to reset your position, probably a pass.
yeah, no, it is true. But you did have, even though Jeb did have a prime in front of you, you still have reasonable chances to prime Jeb's two back checkers because, all you have to do is just like have him not move or move one checker and then you roll 3-1 and like your primes are almost even. Right.
I think the slot is right here.
Yeah, slot is almost always right with 2-1. Oh, especially after Jeb comes down.
Two down, yeah.
Yeah. 5-2 is kind of awkward.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Splitting seems like a good play for Jeb. You want to move your back checkers now because they're 6-4. Dennis rolled a 6-4. So I like his thought to cover with the 6, but yeah, yeah. There you go. Don't cover with the 8, cover with a 6, and now play a 4. Yeah, good play. He could have hit in the outfield, but then he would be leaving a bunch of return shots, and so this is more constructive and builds Dennis's position better to just have a point that's, a pretty strong point. And now Dennis has both 5 points. So, uh, you might think Dennis is a huge favorite with both 5 points. That's not actually true, but Dennis is certainly happy that he's, here and not back on the ace point. Jeb has a fine game, right? He doesn't have any blots that Dennis can actually hit. He has an anchor. The race is fine. So, Jeb is an underdog, but he's certainly not in, bad shape, really. Other than trailing 6-1. That part's not so good. If I were Dennis, I'd probably play 8-2 and 11-6. I would like to do something more constructive than that, but I don't see a constructive play that actually does anything. I don't really want to give up my anchor because, you know, the anchor is nice to have. You haven't advanced far enough where you're forced to give up the anchor, and you don't really want to get two blots hit, or he hits and covers, and then you have to not fan. It's not even necessarily clear that Dennis is winning the race. So maybe just try to build your position. This is okay. You are giving up the midpoint and creating a new blot. You do leave some double 4, 4, 5, 4, 3 to like really hit. And then there's some also like smaller hits that don't do so much. I don't think 11 to 6 and 8 to 2 is so bad. I would certainly prefer giving up the midpoint to giving up the anchor. Yeah, Dennis does agree. He was also trying to find something constructive, but there's not a lot of good constructive plays. 4-1. You have a choice whether to make the 3-point and have a worse distribution or to make the deuce point and have a better distribution. They're probably close. The 3-point is better than the 2-point, but this unstacks your 6 and keeps the spare on your 8. So seems like they're probably close. Hold on. I mean, I know you. Yeah, this is only 6-2 and double 4. It's pretty safe, and it's much easier to play the next roll. Plus, it's much easier to build a board when you don't have blots on your ace and deuce point. 5-1, you could make the deuce point. You could also play 11 to 5. Making the deuce, you can make the ace point too, but I think the deuce point is better than the ace point. Making the deuce is not terrible, but you kind of really want your 4-point, not your deuce point. And this at least cleans up the double 4 and the 6-2. Keeps the checkers kind of in front of the points you want. I think if you're Jeb, you want to come up with the anchor, right? If you make the 11 point, let's say Dennis rolls another number, and now you have to move one of your points, right? So, you really don't want to be stuck behind if Dennis should make his 4-point. And it looks like there's a lot of checkers that are kind of bearing on that point. So I would think you want to come up and make the 4. And it looks like the race is also pretty good for Jeb, right? Jeb is winning the race. So that means you kind of want to break contact rather than try to hold Dennis where Dennis is just going to wait for you to move. Double 2 now. I mean, again, you can kind of try to hold Dennis, but he's not gonna run off his anchor. He's just gonna play from his spares on the 8, 6, and 5. So Dennis now in a pretty reasonable position because Jeb is running out of time. He can possibly get squeezed off the anchor, and there's not a lot of good ways to run off the anchor. He's gonna, but Dennis not in such a good position that he can double when he's leading 6-1. So he's just gonna roll out probably the rest of this game, or at least until we get somewhere more advanced. Decides to keep the anchor. He's making a serious concession and giving up the 8-point, but you don't love giving up your anchor either. 4-1 for Jeb. This is getting ugly. You can play 6-1 to make the ace and play with only one block, but then you're giving up your 6-point. You can play 8-7, 8-4. That leaves only 11 shots and leaves you with a better position, I think. Um, if you come off the anchor, like man, it's pretty. You come off the anchor, there's a 4-1 to play for Jeb.
Okay. He
I
hasn't moved anything yet.
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna break my 8 and go to the 7 and 4. I mean, Jeb is winning the race, but like coming off the anchor leaves a lot of stuff. Plus, you have the blot on your ace point if you get hit.
Is he thinking
Uh,
of movement here?
yeah, he's gonna look at the score and then realize he probably shouldn't double. But
Well, double
double
two.
two, not bad. Can hit and come out. You can't actually make the point, but you can probably go to your ace point. That will reduce shots to only 11 numbers, and it gives you lots of covers for the ace point. And if Jeb fans, what happens? Probably too good. I don't think you can take even at the score. I mean, you're on the bar and you don't have a strong board. So,
What if it were
uh,
three-way, four-way?
you mean like, uh,
6-5.
no, I mean, that's an even bigger pass.
Yeah.
That's a monster play on a 3-way, 4-way. I mean, this I think is also a play on, to be honest, but there are some bad rolls, right? You could roll like a 6-4, or sorry, not a 6-4, a 6-2. 6-2 would be like,
6-4 hits the other one.
yeah, 6-2 is like really, really disaster. 4-2, pretty bad. But
Double
I
two.
think, I mean, Dennis is winning a lot of gammons, and uh I don't know. Dennis is winning the race. You're on the bar against a 4-point board, 13 in the zone. Another two blots, 5-point open. Normally those are indicators of a drop, even when you're losing 6-1.
I kind of look like where he put the cube. It looks like there's a crown on top of the cube.
I like it. I didn't notice that, but you are correct. Almost every roll for Dennis is going to make his ace. I mean, maybe not some even numbers, but then if he makes his ace, now you have to roll something amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like the
The
best.
nuts.
Yeah, the nuts. This is now you're just trying to maybe save a gammon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He closed them out.
He closes him out, he wins a gammon,
Like
maybe
60%.
70. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
maybe
that was a good roll.
that was a very good roll. Still would be a drop, but we'll save almost every gammon. Uh, Dennis still winning the race, so Jeb needs to hit a shot in order to have any chance of winning this game. But he's just very happy to not be getting gammoned.
James Painter made the same comment with the cube is crowned.
Uh,
4-2.
Jeb closing board. Okay.
Okay.
Dennis is currently has 4 men off, I guess. So, if Jeb does hit a shot quickly, it would be interesting. 6-5, okay. So now there are 8 checkers left, 7 off.
Even if he doesn't hit, he has chances to save the gammon.
Yeah, he definitely has chances to save the gammon, but he could win by hitting.
Oh,
You
is
could
he
see
considering redoubling?
that would be bad. He is considering it, but it is very bad.
I mean, if you had no hope of saving the gammon, that would be one thing.
Well, first of all, even if you had no hope of saving the gammon, he's not going to pass if you roll a two, so that would be bad. And then, and then you don't want to lose 4 points when you could have only lost 2 points.
Be right back.
Okay. So Jeb will save and go to 1-8. Crawford 8 away. Gammon does matter for Jeb. Would save him a game in the race to win the match. Uh, assuming that the remaining games are 2 points each, Jeb needs to win 4 games. So he needs to win 5 games if this game is only a single game, but 4 games if it's a gammon.
Just for the viewers, may look at it later.
So Jeb will make more aggressive plays to try to win a gammon, and Dennis will make more conservative plays to try to not get gammoned, like making the anchor here. And playing 8 to 5 is a good play because the main risk is that you get hit with a 7, but then you have all the returns at Jeb's blots. Double 6, it looks like you make the 18 point for sure because you don't want to be stuck behind a prime. I mean, you need to come up with 2 more 6s, but like you gotta get those guys out. So, those need to come out. Yeah, okay. This seems like a fine play. You only leave a 6 shot. If you get missed, you have plenty of chances to clean up stuff.
Okay, so save the gammon. Now it's Crawford.
Yep. Crawford game. Mutual holding game where Jeb is ahead in the race, but Dennis has a better structure, and Dennis likes to play a holding game with an anchor because at least he's not going to lose a gammon, under most circumstances.
Gammons are valuable for the trailer at the Crawford game when he's even away, but not odd away.
Right. Slotting the 4 point looks natural to me. It's the next point you want to make. Best way to make it is to slot it. Also, what else? This one just, I'm not sure it builds even faster at all, and you could get hit if he rolls like double 3 or something. By 4 will pick up the blot.
Slot the 4 point.
Yeah, you gotta slot the point in order to make it. You want to slot the next point you want. By the way, if he had slotted the 4 point with the previous 5-1, he would now own the 4 point, right?
Right.
So, instead of having a 2 point board with a blot on a point you don't want, he would have the best 3 point board.
5 to 1.
Yeah, I guess so.
Want to say hi to some of the viewers out there. Hans, Stephen Sukup, thank you very much. And Joe Calvaruso, thank you. He sent me an email about my book and he started reading the online match. So he likes it. Thank you.
Nice. Thanks to all our viewers. Yeah, happy to see you guys watching, smash that like and subscribe button.
That's right.
Yeah, smash it an odd number of times, please.
Mm-hmm. And for all the viewers, I recommend becoming a USBGF member. You get lots of benefits, helps the streams, and we're working on improving the streams, so that's good. People really like the remote commentary.
Nice. I'm glad that people like it.
Just easier to get commentators because in the early rounds, people are playing.
Yeah. For me personally, I would not leave a shot here and make Dennis's play because, you know, you could get hit with 1-5, 1-6, and you don't really want to get gammoned.
4-3 is awkward.
Yeah. But, you know, having the 4-point would be nice.
Six two.
Pretty good roll. I mean, Jeb has nothing to attack Dennis's blot with. You know, the four checkers they can hit you back are back on the 18 and 13. So they're too far away to actually do anything useful. You could get hit with double one or double two, but I mean that's just you gotta take some risk at some point. Otherwise, you're gonna take more risk later.
Thank you for the compliment, Butter v Xeon. So Matt and Alex are a commentary dream team. Thank you.
Yeah. The Olympics.
Looking for ones and nines.
3-2, not quite enough.
Double three would have.
Jeb still has a long way to go to get home. You know, those checkers on the 18 are very disconnected, and they could be squeezed with a lot of stuff. Not sure if you want to come out, but I guess you don't have a good way to play it otherwise.
Right.
I mean, 6-5 would be a massive swing, but
Han says we're a dream team because they put us to sleep.
uh,
People like the
you don't
remote commentary. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
you don't love advancing the back blot if you're Dennis, but you do get off of 6-5, and you kind of want to keep your other points and not create too many blots. So I think this is the right idea. You know, if you break the 8, then you know, the 8-point is going to be useful both for getting a double shot when Jeb rolls a 6 and also just later in the game as well.
The one thing it does, breaking the 8, is gives them a bad 6-1.
Yeah, but I mean, the 6-5 is massive swing. Oh, there's the
There's
6-1.
the 6-1. All you have to do is talk about it.
It also would have given Dennis bad sixes on his roll, assuming that Jeb didn't come off the anchor, right? So like, you know, picking up the blot gives you a way to actually not be forced to leave a shot when you roll a 6.
So what's the race? 77 for light blue.
This looks like the right move.
84. 2-1 still playable.
Getting to be a close race. Jeb still ahead, but pretty close now.
That spare on the midpoint is helpful there.
Yeah. Comes in useful.
There you go.
And there's the 4-6. So
there are 17 numbers.
17 number. Oh, that's one of them. Okay.
Almost half the deck.
4-up was not good.
Now Dennis is a big favorite.
Yeah, Dennis big favorite to win this game. Yep. Even if Jeb comes in, the race is kind of out of reach. I mean, maybe not out of reach, but it's Jeb needs like double 6 to make it even.
Yeah, that's what Ken Goulding says, is it box proof?
Box proof.
Yeah.
Uh,
57 for dark blue. 66. Up by 9 pips.
I can't imagine you hit here, especially because you could get gammoned if you, well, he needs 3-4 to win a gammon. I mean, he's not going to win a gammon if he only hits one of them. But I think you're just winning the race, right? You're just way ahead in the race.
Ahead by 9, but there's the
Only
strike.
9 pips.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not 9 raw, but you've got the
Right.
wasted gap on the 4.
Right. 4 checkers on the ace point, 3 on the deuce point, gap on the 4. It should be more than 9 when you consider it. So maybe it's more like 14, let's call it. I think you probably not gonna hit, especially when Jeb can use a gammon. The 3-4 actually would have been the double hit. That would have been strong.
All right, so now it's a pure race. One thing I've learned is if you have a gap somewhere, if you have checkers where you can fill that gap with that number, it's good. Like 6-3 fills in the empty 3 point.
Yeah, the 3-point gap becomes much more painful when you've already cleared your 6 point, and then you have a bunch of checkers on your 5 and 4, and you can never fill in the 3 again. Right? There's no actual way to fill in the 3 unless you, yeah.
Like the 4 on the other side. You just have to play 6-2 with
6-2, right? Yeah, you're never gonna fill in that 4 point unless you roll double 2.
Double gap is the problem. Seems like Dennis is a big favorite.
Yeah. It seems like this match may
Just
be
like that
over. This might be over.
One Steven Suko might know the phrase, "This game's in the refrigerator." Do you know that one?
No, I don't know that one. This game's in the freezer.
Jake Hearn used to say that at Lakers games. This game's in the refrigerator. Doors closed, lights are out, eggs are cooling, butter's getting hard, and the jello's jiggling.
The jello is jiggling.
Yeah, in the refrigerator.
They're
He
gonna
was a
turn the
commentator.
lights back on because I think they want us to go home.
That's Jen.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Dennis.
Congrats to Dennis.
So
what time's the next round?
I'll double check while I'm doing that. We can talk a little bit about the book. I know you proofread it, so what can you say about it while I'm looking for the time?
Yeah, it was a good book. It really goes through a lot of the roles and decisions, and it has all these kind of visual aids to think about how to look at roles and dice distributions and things like that. Mochi and Michi, always a great matchup, and they you can learn a lot just by studying their decisions and analyzing their decisions. And yeah, I think the book does a good job of explaining all those things to anybody who's interested. I would recommend picking it up.
I tried to make it so
I
there's
forgot the title.
a backgammon grandmaster match. I try to make it so there's something for everybody. So like novice players, expert players, like the score stuff. The other nice thing about it is you can download the match file. There's a QR code, and you can watch the video. So if they want to watch the video of you commentating, they can go through and do that too.
Nice.
And it's nice because you could read like a chapter a day.
Yeah. I when I was learning backgammon, I always looked at games from top players and tried to go through them, and I mean, I still do that, but I felt like it helped me when I didn't know how to play.
Yeah. Those are the most popular videos that people
Mhm.
watch. Some people have asked to watch like intermediates, and that's fine. You just this doesn't get the viewership like the others.
Yeah. Intermediates are fine to watch too, but you know, you can kind of learn about how people are thinking and how you know how you can kind of structure your mindset to think about positions by watching top players.
I really
Um,
enjoyed watching the UBC last night.
yeah,
Those are some of the best players in the world.
yeah. Iketani unfortunately could not win a match. It's tough to win if you can't win any matches.
I think Hideaki is up 4-2 now.
What's that?
Hideaki is up 4-2 in the score.
I think it's over, right? The Yaki's
You need 7 points? I don't know.
Yaki won the final. He won 5 matches in a row.
Oh, so it's finished.
Yeah.
So he's going to go to the
He's gonna
UBC contender.
Yeah. He's gonna go to Monaco along with Mark Olson and Michihito
I'll be right
and one more qualifier from Sweden, which has not been played yet. But that will be played at the Swedish Open, I believe, or just before the Swedish Open in I think the end of June, beginning of July.
Yeah. Mochi was saying he was trying to get you.
He
go.
was, and I was tempted to go to Japan.
It's just a lot of traveling.
It is a lot of traveling, yes. It's a lot of traveling and a lot of playing, and it's not really at the top of my priority list.